Hello and welcome to this demonstration of GVERSE Attributes. This video is a quick overview of the new features in our new version. GVERSE Attributes makes your attribute analysis workflows faster and more efficient by providing on-the-fly attribute computation and immediate visualization in unintegrated viewers. This lets you compute and compare attributes much faster without having to generate all those extra volumes that are inevitably a part of traditional attribute analysis. We also provide specialized tools and a very rich feature set to enable efficient attribute analysis. So we still have fast on-the-fly attribute generation and our multi-panel 2D viewer that allows a quick and easy comparison of different attributes and parameters. We have made the resolution of the existing 2D view much better, and it can now handle extreme zoom levels as well. But the main feature that we've added this release is the support for a 3D view that lets you view data in 3D and compute attributes on the fly in the 3D space. With Voxel Rendering, you can display entire volumes to better analyze your data. We have over 50 attributes available and also support hybrid attributes that let you combine various attributes to create new ones. And on top of the existing attributes, we have introduced some new attributes that are designed to help with interpretations. These are the two automatic fault extraction attributes and the structure-oriented smoothing that helps you get rid of noise and precondition your data for better attribute analysis or for other purposes in your seismic interpretation. We have also redesigned our color palette control to add a histogram, transparency controls, and the ability to create and save customized color palettes. And we have a lot of other features including blending techniques to visualize multiple attributes at the same time, visually lossless seg-wide compression to compute and display attributes quickly on seg-wide data, support for well data, and honoring azimuth information in horizontal views. Of course, we're still integrated with SizeVision, so you can send your data directly to and from SizeVision. Now I'm going to try and quickly demonstrate some of these new features for you. I have the GVERSE Attributes application open here with some data already loaded. I can force the north arrow to point upwards so that my features of interest are aligned in a more familiar direction. Computing attributes is very simple and very quick. You just have to select an attribute from the tree and it is computed on the fly and displayed directly in the viewer. You can also very quickly compare different attributes with each other. So if I was looking for the best attribute to highlight faults, for example, I can apply a different attribute to each panel and see how they compare. In my 6 panels, I have input data, instantaneous phase, semblance, enhanced semblance, coherence, and maximum curvature. I can see right away that my phase attribute is not really giving me any extra information compared to my original input volume. And out of the 3 similarity attributes, enhanced semblance seems to work the best. I can navigate through my data to see how my attributes behave at different areas within my dataset. And I can also tweak parameters on the fly and immediately see their effects. And now with the new version of GVERSE Attributes, you can compute and visualize attributes in a 3D space as well. You can add more objects and apply attributes to them within the scene and get a better sense of the features and structures in a 3D sense. All these 3D objects are organized in the 3D object tree, and you can hide or remove these from the scene using the tree. You can add R-lines and apply attributes to these as well. With the added support for well symbols, you can draw an arb line along your wells and see how an attribute varies along your cross-section. You can also add probes, which are cubes with data displayed on each of the 6 faces. You can of course apply any of the attributes that are available to these as well, and they are computed and applied on the fly to each face. You can use the chair cut mode to view even more faces within the cube and move them around to get a better understanding of your features and structures. We have also added support for voxel rendering. A probe is just a cube with data on the surfaces. When you render a volume, you fill up the inside of the probe with data as well. Since this is a large volume of data, you can't compute on-the-fly attribute on volumes, but we have added support for importing external volumes into the workspace, and you can render volumes for these. Just select the file and add it to the workspace. And now if I use the new, much more powerful color palette control to adjust the transparency of various amplitudes in my volume, I can see clearly bodies that are nicely isolated and I can analyze them in greater detail. We have also introduced a couple of blending techniques that help you visualize multiple attributes simultaneously. So for example, if you want to visualize the frequency content variations together with your structural information, you can use a geometric attribute like semblance to get your structural information, like I have applied to this time slice, and use co-blending to overlay it with your dominant frequencies and basically visualize both the attributes at the same time to gain a better understanding of your data. RGBA blending lets you visualize up to 4 attributes at the same time, and this is especially useful when analyzing spectrally decomposed data. You can assign a different frequency to each of the red, green, blue, and alpha channels, and your feature, like this channel in the example here, different parts of which are resolved at different frequencies, and you can get a composite image with the complete feature easily visible in a single image. Finally, we have some new attributes in the latest version to help with interpretation of seismic data. With structure-oriented smoothing, we combine different filters that you can control using the parameters pane to condition your data to get rid of noise or otherwise enhance your data while keeping the structural information intact. You can output a volume for this and then use that either for attribute generation within GVERSE Attributes or for any other purpose in your interpretation. And our new fault extraction attributes let you output volumes that contain data only at fault locations identified automatically by the attributes. You can modify the parameters to make sure you get the least number of false positives, and when you output a fault volume, it contains data only at these fault locations, and you can use it as a guide when picking faults in your seismic interpretation. We can also use co-blending to overlay faults on top of your seismic data or any other attribute like I have here in the 3D view and get a better sense of how well the fault attributes have managed to identify faults in your data. So these were some of the new features and capabilities that we have introduced in GVERSE Attributes 2016.1. We have more videos that cover these and other exciting features and more detailed workflows on our website, lmkr.com/gverse. Thank you for watching.